Hello, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's Mobile Mechanics. Just looking at a Ford Mondeo, and it's got some DPF issues, engine management lights, and it's in limp mode. So I'm inside the car. We're going to start it up. Engine management light on there. You got that spanner that comes up. Okay, yep, we've got the bonnet open. So I've got both of my computers here hooked up, the top down and the Autel. So this is the codes that are coming up there: P2463, P246C particle filter. But there was another code, bank 1, sensor 1, exhaust gas temperature sensor. Now this guy has got his own diagnostic readers in the car, and he's been clearing them as well. So let's go back to live data. And we're going to look for the exhaust gas temperature sensor number 1 and number 2, and the voltage supplied to them. Dpf particle filter, and we're looking for differential pressure. Oh, wrong letter there. Differential pressure, which is a bit strange on this car. I just tried to look for this a minute ago on, but that's why I've got both computers here. I couldn't find it on the top down, so I got the Autel out just to see. Can't seem to find the differential pressure, but we can only just get a reading for the voltage on it. I'm not too sure why that is. If anyone is able to answer that question, feel free there in the comments. So we're looking at these temperatures here. Sensor bank 1, sensor 1, and bank 1, sensor 2 there. 100 degrees. So I've got the engine running, and we're going to accelerate it up, see if we can get the temperatures increased. So we've got 110 there on sensor 2, 115. Sensor 1 should be higher than sensor 2 usually, but that's not moving. So that's where we had the fault. Exhaust gas temperature 1, bank 1, sensor 1. That's where we had a fault. So just switch the engine off and put the ignition back on. Here we're looking at the engine. It's the 1.6 HDI engine that you get in the Peugeots. Bank 1, sensor 1 is this blue cable here. So just crack that loose with a spanner there. Now I can get my hand down there and unwind it. Just get the torch on there so you can see a little bit better. So get that sensor out. Oh, it's very hot to touch. So we've got the sensor right there. So I'm going to look at the temperature on sensor 1.1 there, 100 degrees, and I'm going to use a burner blowtorch. Connect that up, and we're just going to put some heat on the sensor. You can see there it's not moving. So I found the problem with this cable here. It's got a split there on it. Split in the cable because it's been rubbing on the heat shield over here. This part of the heat shield cable's been rubbing along there. A little bit further down obviously, but it's actually cut straight through the cable. Now I have the option of repairing this, but the customer wants me to fit a brand new sensor that he's got here. So this is the sensor here, replacement one. Exhaust gas temperature sensor, and it's the same sensor, blue cable again. So again, if we use the same method now on this new sensor I've got it plugged in, use the blowtorch again, just light it up. You should see temperature moving on this one. You can see there, 130 degrees, 170. So you can see that this sensor is working. So I've got the new sensor in. Just going to tighten it up with a spanner. We've got 140 millibars at 25 or 100 RPM. Around 9 millibars on idle, which is it's not very high, but we're going to clean it out. So using the compressor here, we're going to hook this up to the JLM DPF gun, and we're going to put a litre of wind fluid in there. So we'll just connect that up there. That connects onto the wind's gun here. Sorry, the JLM gun. Now we can just squeeze the trigger and fill the DPF with the cleaning fluid. So this shield, it's got this piece that sticks out. So what I've done down here is, instead of feeding the cable around the front of this heat shield, I've fed it around the back. So it's rubbing against this smoother part. This is the part that cut into it before. It's kind of a sharp edge. So I've routed it, instead of routing it like this, I've routed it around the backside. So this is nice and soft and smooth. I've connected back up the sensor there. I'm just going to connect back up the air hose. Yeah, it was this way. So you've got a little notch there where it sits in level. Screw that down tight. And this one. Okay, we're back in the car now. It's been about 15 minutes or so, so we're going to run it. Let the fluid sit for a little while. If we look at the live date here, just like I said before, temperature sensor 1 should be higher than sensor 2, which it is. So we should see sensor 2 coming up now pretty soon. The engine's only been running a few seconds. So we've got both sensors there coming up on the readings now. So now I'm just going to try and erase the codes. They don't usually clear unless you've actually done a regen on the DPF or reset the values. So if we go back in and read it, it should still have the DPF errors on there. They have cleared. Let's go back. Read it again on a quick scan. Pass no fault. So it didn't clear last time. It has cleared after we've done the flush on it, which is, yeah, it's a bit bit strange. Most of them don't really clear unless you've reset them. So just let the vehicle run for a minute there. The engine light's back on there. So we should have the codes back. Some vehicles just behave differently. Sometimes when you clear the codes, you'll have them disappear for a minute and then come back. Others, you clear them and then you do a rescan straight away. The code is back. But okay, we need to now try and reset the Dpf values or do a regen. So I'm going to go back out of here. Have a look in the hot functions menu. See what we have for the DPF. It's a bit strange. We haven't got the DPF listed on here. And that's something I almost got wrong on this video. Was set as the 1.6 HDI, but obviously this is the Euro 6 updated version, so they reduced it down to the 1.5. You can see that there, 1.5 Duratec. So unfortunately I can't seem to find any options in my Autel here, so I'm going to switch over to the top-down and we'll do the same thing again. We're going to clear the codes. I need to switch the engine off first. Engine off, ignition on, clear the codes. Instead of failed, sorry, we'll go back again, retrieve the codes. I think it was because I switched the ignition off so quickly there. Need to give it a few seconds just to reconnect. Okay, we'll try that again. Clear the codes. Completed. Now we're going to go back. Have a look at our special functions. Manually reset service. So we don't seem to have a lot here either. Turn the ignition. This is just resetting the service. I should have just pressed back here really. So we finished doing all of the work here, but unfortunately it looks like Ford have somehow locked themselves out of the DPF. They've seemed to have secured it somehow that we can't get into it. Tried it on the Autel and on the top down, and none of those computers are listing a DPF option or anything to reset it. And it was a bit strange actually that it didn't show the DPF pressure either, so I had to use a manual digital gauge on it outside. So I'm a little bit stuck here at the minute. I'm not too sure what to do. Looks like we can't reset it. So it turns out I'm a little bit stuck on this one with my computers, so I'm going to have to get this sent down to my friend in Luton there. He's got a genuine Ford operating system, so hopefully he can deal with that. It's actually the first time I've come across a car that doesn't even list the DPF in any of my diagnostic scan tools. It's a bit very weird. It's a bit strange one. I wish I'd have checked that before I'd done the clean really. So it's a very strange one here with this Mondeo. I was going to have it sent down to my friend in Luton there. He's got a garage where he's got a subscription, you call it, with the Ford main software, but whatever you'd like to call it. And yeah, he can do it, but this type of system that is you've got to log the car in online, and he pays for each time each car is logged in, even if he's just going to scan it. So we were going to do that. The car's been for a drive, and magically all of the faults have disappeared from the dash, and the codes have cleared. So just by taking it on a drive, the codes seem to have cleared themselves, and the car is now back to normal. So maybe the clean in that sensor is just, I don't know, this is a weird one. Put the stuff in, it wouldn't clear on my code scanner. Taking it on a test drive, and the car is just cleared all the faults by itself. So yeah, that's it. All done on this video. See you next time.